Yeah. What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. Yo, I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, doing and representing. As always, I got my man with me. I'm letting him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good? You know who this is? Your boy King People, Digga Box in the building. Ring Game Radio all day. Let's go. We ran tonight. I'm ready.
Yes, sir. We definitely ranting. But, yo, before we rant, yo, do we have anyone that needs to be banned from the bodega?
We're going to talk about people that needs to be banned because we ran. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what it is, yo. I can dig that. But, yo, I got my other man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's fly? It's Conscious Pilot, the West Coast Avenger, preparing for liftoff. Let's go. Let's fly. Ring Game Radio.
Yes, sir. Conscious Pilot stays elevated above the clouds, you dig? So, yeah, we'll probably have, like, the other members. They'll probably pop up a little later on there. But, yeah, like P said, like, we are rants tonight. We definitely got some rants to get off. Because like I said, there've been some other stuff we need to talk about, but yeah, it's like, yeah, some stuff needs to be said. But yeah, though, King P though has had some stuff to get off his chest, yo. So man, King P, man. So what we got ranting about tonight, yo? What you got to get off your chest, bro?
Let's see. So a couple of things. And people are still complaining about it. It's not as like big. It was more complaint when it happened 2 weeks ago. But I'm still seeing some fucking complaints, and this is kind of just actually still makes me more like irritated about it. These motherfuckers that they're so upset. Now, this is baseball talk, so I know everybody's not big on baseball, but
it's all good, bro.
I gotta say my piece on baseball, but go ahead, do your thing.
I've always been a big baseball fan, and knowing me, I'm a New York Yankees fan. Well, you got motherfuckers that are complaining because the Yankees got rid of an old traditional rule that they've had since the damn 70s, and they finally decided to get rid of it, and motherfuckers are complaining and mad and all this shit, and that is the rule of the facial hair rule. So for the longest time, our old boss, our old owner, George Steinbrenner, he's from that Mad Max era, that Mad Men era of the fucking 50s, where everything was military and groomed and all of that.
Yeah, buzz cut, no mustache or none of that.
No, yeah. So no, you can have a mustache, but you could not have a beard. And so from the 70s, he's had that installed into the rule. If you want to be a Yankee, you have to be clean cut, no beard. You can have a mustache, but no beard, and no hair longer than your shoulders. No dreads, none of that. And a lot of people have always complained about it. It's been an outdated rule, yada, yada. And so George Steinbrenner has been long dead. So like now his son, Hal, has taken over the team since his death. And, he people have brought it up to him, and he's been like, I haven't really thought much about it, all this stuff. Well, apparently the news came a couple weeks ago that he had made the announcement that beards are now allowed. He's getting rid of the rule, and as long as you keep your beard kept well groomed, you can have a beard. And these fucking ninnies are fucking crying about it. So many Yankee fans, whoa, you're getting rid of tradition, and they should want to be a Yankee, yada, yada. If you don't like it, you shouldn't be a Yankee. And I'm just like, we're sitting here arguing over facial hair. Bruh, like, this isn't the fucking the 70s anymore. Like, I know plenty of businessmen. Like, the idea of what a businessman should look like, that's not what it is anymore. Like, and I know, Pat, you've been in the business world for a while too. Like, you've seen plenty of these quote unquote businessmen now. Like, they got beards, they got long hair, they got tattoos, like this, like
dreads, all that dreads, cornrows.
Yes.
I've seen it all. Although in some aspects, I mean, in some areas too. I've seen some bros that do it, and some bros they kind of eventually they'll do it, but then eventually they'll conform over time and be like, okay, we got to kind of do this. I know, the funny things too. When I started, like in the pandemic, when I started growing my hair out more, and then I had, the beard started coming in or whatever. My mom was used to say, it's like, you look wild. You should cut your beard down. You should cut it back to the goatee. It's like, won't your workplace say something? I'm like, they better not say something.
I remember it's an outdated ass rule, man.
Yeah, no, it's very outdated because it's like, yeah, I mean, baseball is not 19. I mean, because obviously that rule was done back in the day when the league was 99.9% white.
Yeah,
everyone, and it was the military generation, so everyone had to be like,
everyone's clean cut. Clean cut was in. Clean cut was.
The great thing is, we didn't even like. People think that that's a Yankee thing. It wasn't even. The Yankees weren't the only team that had that rule. The Cincinnati Reds had that rule too, and even they fucking gave that shit up 25 years ago when they traded for a player. Who was it? Greg Vaughn. They traded.
I remember him, and he had the soul patch. He was known for that soul patch.
They traded for him. He was coming off a MVP type season with the Padres. The Reds traded for him. He wasn't happy to getting traded anyway, and fucking and with the Reds it was even worse because they had no facial hair whatsoever. Like no facial hair, not even a mustache. At least with the fucking Yankees, you could have a mustache. You just couldn't have a beard. The Reds, you couldn't have facial hair at all. And he had a mustache and all of that. And he was a goatee. And he went to the Reds and he was just like, I'm not shaving it. So I don't care, but I'm not shaving it. And so the Reds owner, Marge Scott, who's a bitch,
Marge. Oh,
yeah, I remember him.
So at least she had the decency to talk about it and then change her mind and drop the rule. And that was fucking 25 years ago. So we're behind the 8 ball on that, and it's just like,
that's a crazy rule to have.
The fans were making such a big deal about it, and it's just like we are not in a position to we need people because here's the thing, the reason why it's still that rule was still around was because Hal didn't care. I don't think Hal ever cared about it. Hal didn't care about it like his brother, like his father did. And the only reason was because I remember 2 years ago, Hal was asked about it in an interview, and he was asked if he would ever think about changing it. And he said, I've never thought about it because there's never been a reason to, because no player has ever complained. No player has ever come to me and say they don't like the facial hair rule. They don't like any of that. He's like, on the contrary, players come here willingly and follow the tradition and shave their face, just shave their beard and all that. So they seem happy with it. So I've never thought about changing it. And the problem, which I get what he's saying, the problem is he didn't understand was that players aren't going to complain about it. They're just not going to sign with you. Nobody's going to sit here and try to make you change your rules. Okay, the rules are the rules. So I don't like it. So I'm gonna go somewhere else. They have options. And this show, really what set this off was there was we traded for a player. We traded for a closer, Devin Williams from the Brewers. And we traded for him. And he came and he had kind of made it known he hasn't shaved since he was for years, and he's not looking forward to it. And that was when I was like, he should press the issue. He should press the issue because and he really has a case for that, because it's not like he willingly signed with the team. It's one thing where people could say, well, if you know the rules, then don't sign with them. He didn't sign with the team. They traded for him. That he didn't ask to be traded to the Yankees. They traded for him. So you're going to trade for me, and then I got to follow your bullshit rules that I don't want to because it's your team policy that I never agreed to be part of your team in the first place. What fucking sense does that make? And so he brought it up. It went to the owner. Hal thought about it. Hal talked to older Yankee legends and older former players, and he did some research, and he found out that the facial hair rule was one of the reasons why it did hinder them from signing people. It did seem.
Yeah, I mean, because I know the Yankees used to make big splashes, and I feel like they didn't for a while.
Here's really why they did it, because I think, unfortunately, with Juan Soto signing with the Mets over the Yankees, people didn't realize how much of a changing of the guard that was, because the idea that somebody would choose the Mets over the Yankees is crazy, like to most people in New York. But now with that's led like them. Soto, who was a Yankee, who we traded for, signing with the Mets, basically said it's a changing of the guard. This isn't your old Yankees anymore. This is a new era, and the Yankees haven't won in fucking 15 years. So, like, they're not the team that everybody's clamoring to sign with anymore.
Yeah, they can't live off that,
So they can't
the
live off
Yankee
that. So
legacy
they
forever.
need. They're not. So right, they're already at a disadvantage there. They're not going to try. They're not going to. They're going to look for any. They're not going to give them any reason for players to not sign. So they got rid of it. But these fucking ninnies, mostly white people, are getting so fucking mad. Well, if you don't want to shave, you shouldn't be part of this team. No, it's a stupid fucking rule.
It's a fucking old rule. It's a stupid ass rule.
Like, it doesn't affect anything. Like, shut up.
I kind of like. I just want to mention it just because I remember when I was like in college and had multiple jobs. I delivered pizza at this one place. It was called Uncle Pizza's, and it was like had the guy with the owner had like a big Mario ass mustache, but he didn't allow a beard. Like, he allowed a mustache. He had a big ass mustache, but he didn't allow a beard. And I get it, because you don't want to go into food. But it was just such an annoying ass fucking rule, and I hate because I'm a nigga that I need my beard. I had bitches thinking I was fucking Hispanic and shit. When I just had a mustache. I just had a mustache. She's like, "What's your name, Jose?" I was like, "This fucking bitch." Nah, but yeah, no, that rule is outdated and antiquated, and I think also when it comes to the Yankees, I know that the Yankees are when it comes to their coming up when I was growing up, the Yankees, it's the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? They're the fucking the GOAT franchise. But ever since, I don't know, 2000-ish, I don't know, I feel like playing field's been leveled a lot more. I don't know. Seemed like in the 90s and shit, I don't know, the Yankees used to always win. And I know y'all still win, right? I mean, what's your last World Series?
We haven't won a World Series since 2009. We made it to the World Series this year.
Yeah, this season. Yeah. That's crazy. Y'all won since 2009? That's crazy.
Yeah, so like 2009 is a very fucking
that's because usually it's like the Lakers. Y'all like the Lakers. Y'all every decade y'all have a dynasty. But that's kind of crazy.
I was how old was I? I was 19 when the Yankees last won the World Series. I'm 35 now. Like, that's how long it's been. We can't be living off of yesteryear when a lot of these kids didn't. A lot of these kids we're growing. We got a lot of these kids now that never got to see a Yankees title because they're too young. So you got to do whatever you can to fucking help you. We're not going to make things harder to sign people by having these antiquated rules. So I'm glad. So fuck these motherfuckers that keep complaining and like go back to the thing about the old days. They're the old days.
Yeah, we're the Marlo. We're the Slim Charles and not Slim Charles and Bodie. But do you think, real quick on that note, like, do you think a lot of these kids now seeing, like, do you think that it matters playing for the Celtics, the Lakers, playing for the Cowboys, the Yankees, or now just because with social media and everything?
They just want to play for the winners.
They want to play for whoever's winning, right? Yeah, I guess. But I mean, because back in the day, prestige, you're playing for the Yankees or the Lakers,
But it's always the same. You still want to play for winners, like even because like not. I mean, the Cowboys, even though their valuation is probably the highest in the NFL, like it's getting to the point where now even players like I know.
Today,
one guy says I love playing, but he doesn't see them as winners. Yeah, because like I said, there are people here who have not seen a Dallas Super Bowl win. Never mind them going to a AFC Championship game or anything for 30 years.
For 30 years, yeah.
So it's like, I mean, the longer you have of these fertility, the less you see. Like, I mean, like I said, even the Celtics had a slump they definitely had a slump like once Larry Bird retired.
So basically from the late 80s to like that Celtics the big 3 year, that was like at least 20 years.
I mean, even the Lakers had a little bit of a slump. Those were during the Nick Van Exel years. Like they had a little bit slow. They had a little bit of a slump.
And then basically the 90s, before Shaq got there, the 90s, yeah.
Well, that and Kobe came into his form, and before they got all that. But yeah, like even like you know, like they have low stuff, but then like people like there's still prestige in being a Laker. There'll still be Celtics because you're doing, but when you have teams that just don't win in the wild, like I said, like the Cowboys, then it's just becoming. Then it starts becoming like, why would I want to? Yeah, you want to be because you get paid, but you're not necessarily. It's not a winning culture there anymore because there's no one there other than maybe the owner or maybe a couple of staff people that actually have Cowboy Super Bowl rings. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, and of course, I mean, anyone who has a Cowboy Super Bowl ring is as a player is long since retired. So it's
a lot of niggas dead now. But what I will say is, yeah, and plus come Dallas, like there's better cities in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? When you factor everything in, to live, and all that shit.
yeah.
So,
But I mean, with regard to the hair stuff, I mean, like I said, most people should be more concerned about trying to build a winning team because I know with Marge Shot, like piece of like she was a racist. She was everything. She was horrible. Like I mean, they used to do skits on her like constantly. I remember I used to listen to this radio show in New York called Bob and Tom, and she was parodied so many times. She was a piece of shit.
Yeah,
But
she was a
like,
racist. She was an anti-Semitic. She was everything. Like
she was everything. She was horrible. And she used to say, "Oh yeah, no. If men wore earrings, they were fruits. No hair. Like she was from a different generation, a horrible generation, I should say. But yeah, and that's why the Reds. They were bad.
They won a couple. They won, but they won in spite of her, not because
exactly. They didn't win because she was some sort of genius and she was spreading the money around. They won.
She was a hindrance. They needed her to get the fuck out the way. And finally they fucking did. That franchise got better once just by her not being around.
Exactly. And like I said, because I mean I've been in the corporate world for 20-something years. So there were times. I mean, I've always, of course, back then I didn't grow my hair out. I mean, I just had like a regular. I had a shadow fade, and I didn't really have facial hair back then. Like I just, I was clean shaven. Just by default because I wasn't a nigga that grew facial hair like that. And then later on, as I got older, and then, I did grow my hair out, and I did have like the Ben Wallace afro and the cornrows and shit like that. But that was just during grad school. But then, like when I had to look for jobs, that I had to take my cornrows out. I had to shave. I had to because there's still certain things like you want to get it up, but I'm telling you, like you just know in the back of your mind that sometimes some of these companies kind of judge you on that, especially if you're starting out on your corporate journey or whatever. But like I said, now I'm 20 years in, so I feel like I can wear my hair anywhere I damn please. I can grow my facial anywhere I damn please. It's like the thing you need to be concerned is like, am I getting this work done, and is it providing value to the organization? So that should really be the only concern. And like I said, baseball. Baseball is American as apple pie. And obviously that has a lot of connotations behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but this is a new day. Like men they wear earrings. They have long Rick Ross beards. They have dreads and all that.
They got dreads. Yeah, I saw a picture of David Ortiz when he was on I think it was the Twins. He's looking skinny. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this guy made the Hall of Fame. He's a lovable guy. But you can tell clearly this motherfucker looks skinny compared to how he was in Boston. And I'm like, man, just get Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens in the Hall of Fame. Come on, man.
Well, he looks. Well, David Ortiz, at least he probably has a reason. Well.
Nah, nigga, come on, that nigga had the juice too. I'm just saying, like, come on, like,
like I said, it's as American as apple pie. You know what I mean? Take it for what you want. Like,
I'm just saying, you can't let Barry Bonds and Clemens best in their probably at their positions ever. I'm more of a Ken Griffey stan, but still, yeah. But Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame, and Roger Clemens and all, and Sosa. Come on, man. I'm just saying, it's bullshit.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I mean, baseball has a lot of issues, like but hair should never be one of them. Like, this ain't wartime. FDR or Dwight D. Eisenhower is not, saying that hey, we gotta draft all these young boys to go to the baseball while women go play baseball in the U.S. It's not that type of time anymore. Like, they need to get with the program, and these fans, who weren't even old enough to even experience, need to get with the program. They're like. Do you want players that want to play and win, or do you want players to, look like, basically look like like babies or something like that. I don't
It's
know.
it's an antiquated rule. I mean, I get like and King P was talking about how like back in the the military days and all that, but it's such an antiquated, outdated rule. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes no sense to have. You're playing yourself with that rule. But like
I
you know,
remember too
yeah.
because I remember Simpsons back in the day. They kind of parodied that, like they had like the baseball players on there, and Mr. Burns kept on saying, "Get a haircut, you hippie," and shit like that. And it get to the point where motherfuckers was, I think one of them shaved up their sideburns and everything, and and Burns was still telling them to go get a haircut. Like, it's stupid. It's an extremely stupid rule, and people should, and that's stupid. Like how a player wears their hair, as long as they're not shaving like a bad word or a slur or whatever the fuck in their hair, that shouldn't that should not concern anybody. But like I said, there's for every some like I said, baseball is probably a more conservative sport than most. It's not like basketball, or it's definitely not like football or anything like that. So like I said, maybe the baseball culture this might be a little bit more harder to. Some of it might be harder to break, but yeah, that's that. Come on, like, that's some more bullshit.
Very much bullshit, but that's that. I just wanted to get that point out the way, but the other one, and we didn't even talk about it. This is why I want to talk about. The other one was the situation online with the girl, and I forgot her name. Shout out to her. She was like, she's a gamer, and she was running like a Call of Duty like gaming tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and it was for Black women. And I guess there was this thing with this girl that was like, oh, I want to be in the tournament, and the girl was checking all the credentials, and she's like, are you even Black? And the girl was like from the UK, and she's like white passing. And she was like, yeah, no, my father is half Black, yada yada. It's like, so she went back, and then like, because there was another one, she was checking somebody else's, like, are you Black? He said, yeah, no, I'm just light skinned, yada 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 yada. And so the whole thing of like, because they were friends, and the other white girl went back to the mixed girl, and was like, well, she's not letting me in the tournament. This is bullshit, yada, yada. And which the girl never even said it at first, but then she's like, no, now I'm not going to let you in because like, first off, you are like, even if your father is Black, you are very white presenting. So like trying to explain how that works. But she was acting like a fucking Karen about it. And it was just like, oh my God. Like, and then come to find out, the girl was lying. She wasn't even half Black. Her father was fucking Indian. Like,
yeah, I remember that one. That was like a hot thing on Twitter, right? Like a week or two ago, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I vaguely remember reading it, but
I didn't read too deep into it. I mean, I saw her look, she looked kind of cute. Saw a couple pictures, and then it's fun. It's kind of funny because every time with these stories, like it's not funny because this one story was about this woman making up shit potentially about her boyfriend, doing weird stuff with maybe her daughter. I don't know if I saw that, but come to find out, it was like her faking it. You know what I mean? But it's just you hear these stories, and it's just kind of next couple days later you hear the truth.
I mean, for the given one, is like you ain't got to lie to kick it. Like, geez, like it's like if you're half Indian, say it's half Indian, you're not half Black. Although I some Indians though, depending on who you run into, they have kind of warped views about their knowledge of self. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. So it's like.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing was that like if she like I get it, like if she didn't want to feel like she was left out, but like the thing was like that, like you want like, and even because I'm light skinned, so I've dealt with that before, where like when people like sometimes when people like mean like Black people, like they like when something like all Black, they like I know what they mean sometimes, where they're just like, okay, but you're light, yada yada, like we just want like Black, like I'm like, you know what? I don't agree, but I get it. I'm not gonna complain because I understand that is a thing. But she went completely Karen about it, and it was like you kind of made her like it was like you kind of made it like so where like you justified her not letting you in. all for just to get like to get a tournament to win money. Like what you just like, and nothing in her profile ever said like, oh, she was black. Like that never came out. It's just all of a sudden now, oh, I'm black just to be in a gaming tournament. Like, bro, like what are we doing? Like, I don't know. It was weird because it's like people trying to fake the funk. Like, come on, man, what are we doing?
It's funny too. I mean, it's like being black. I mean, it's nothing new. Like people try. Try to be black or try to be down or whatever, or or try to be like another nationality or race. But it's just like, geez. But eventually, it all. I mean, we have old girl from that was as white as fucking snow, passing off. Was the whole director or president of NA.
Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That red randomly got an OnlyFans. I accidentally stumbled upon that one, so it was not.
Yeah, no, and the worst part was then people were trying to be like, well, who cares? Because she's for the community, yada yada. Even if she isn't black, it's just like, you idiot. Like, she's not for the community. She don't give a fuck about the black community. She was doing it because like that. I found because I found out
she was making money right off of that shit.
Because I found out her like history is that she sued like she sued at HBCU. I want to say Howard. She sued at HBCU because she felt like she was being discriminated against because she was white, and it got thrown out. And so after that, she was just like, okay, you know what? Then I'm just gonna pretend I'm black. Like,
her thing is like it went beyond just her pretend. Like she had she was passing off children as being like they weren't being biological hers when that's not possible. She went to extremes.
She was literally like the ultimate grifter.
Yeah, she was grifting her ass off, and eventually it caught up to her because it was just fucking weird too. It was just like
she had a buzz in terms of popularity for a hot second with that shit. I remember that shit.
For all the wrong reasons.
Like, all the wrong reasons, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, because the gamer stuff, like I heard about it, but I did the whole twist about the India. I didn't. That's just stupid. Like I can't. There's no sympathy for that. Like if you're not even a black, you're half Indian. Then what the fuck are you complaining for? Like what are you doing? So it's
She just wanted to, because people are gonna complain. Like it's just then they want to cry reverse racism. Like there's no reverse racism. Like get the fuck over yourself.
No, absolutely, yes.
So,
yeah, like if you're lying about yourself, like who the fuck is gonna be sympathizing with you? Like, yeah, like if you were black, then okay, you maybe you get a little sympathy, but if you're not even black, then what the fuck? Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
She just wanted the fucking benefits for a fucking tournament, because then it's like, because then it was like nothing. Like she's like, the girl was like, I went on your profile to see what I could see, and there was nothing about like her being black or anything like for the community or anything that shows she was down in any way, shape, or form. It was just, well, you know what? I'm gonna try to be, I'm gonna pretend I'm black just to fucking get into this fucking gaming thing. It's just like, y'all, like you want some bullshit. That's some sucker shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so no, that shit kind of irked me.
Yeah, no, yeah, that would irk me too. But like I said, if I actually followed it long enough to get the punchline, I would to see the twist. I would have been like, yo, it's like, this is a non-story.
Yeah, no, it just kind of it made me laugh, and it kind of like irked me at the same time. I was just like, you can't be serious. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
Nah, I feel you. But speaking of someone that probably needs to get the fuck out of with this bullshit, and I have two. There's two specific examples. Well, one that LB brought up earlier, and then one that I really want to rant on. And the one I want to rant was on one Fleece Johnson. And Fleece Johnson, of course, as everyone knows, like, dude was on that lockup special from back in the day, and
I won't.
But I feel like there's a Boondocks thing that kind of reblew him. Pause ×5. But there was like a Boondocks. Was he on a Boondocks clip too?
Yeah, no, the Boondocks.
Yeah. I mean, the special, if like if there was ever an infomercial of saying, "Hey, let's not go to fucking jail," that is one of them. So it was like that, and then of course he was immortalized in that now classic Boondocks episode, where basically he's a booty warrior and he likes booty, and booty is more important than drinking water, and a whole bunch of just Jesus Christ type of comments. So, but then one thing that I've noticed lately, and then he got released from prison about, was it maybe 3 years ago, give or take?
A couple of years ago,
And then one thing that I'm trying to understand is like why, or first of all, podcasts, why are they giving this dude so much attention? Like, I mean, I would think someone like this would try to kind of rebuild his life or whatever, but podcasts are actively seeking dude out, and it's like multiple podcasts, and he gets on, and it's not like he's talking about redemption, and he's trying to do good for his community, or he's trying to get some sort of help for himself. No, he sits there. He says he repeats horrible stories. Well,
luckily, I haven't clicked on it. I mean, I've seen it. It pops up with art of dialogue, but I haven't actually clicked on it. Luckily, but it's something where he talks about his I'll say, for lack of a better term, his war stories.
Yeah, his war stories, and they're just like, because at first, because I noticed it more on IG than anything, because I mean I'm on IG a lot, so I like to watch fuckery videos, and then every time I come across like a video and dude is talking some disgusting things, like I was just like,
this man's still talking about he still miss booty. The fuck?
Yeah, I'm just like, it's like, why are people like? I mean, are people that hard up for engagement that they want to see this?
It is like that, man. Like, I know we always mention about the streamers now, but anything for content and engagement, it's unfortunate. It's crazy. It's wild, but yeah, that's the
yeah. But I mean, it's definitely exploiting him. Yeah, trying to make dude a martyr for what? I don't understand. But yeah, dude gets on there. He clearly makes some of the hosts nervous too, because do be like saying kind of forward things to them, and as he's saying the stories and stuff like that. I'm like, dog, like who the fuck kind of audience wants to hear things about like prison rape or what, or prison rape etiquette? It's like, what the fuck? And this is a dude that came out and he didn't even like his portrayal in Boondocks, because he said he
hated it.
Yeah, he hated it. So now he's getting this audience, and these weirdos that keep giving him audience. But the thing that kind of pushed me to actually really rant about this is there was a skit, and me and LB were both talking about this. Like, there was a skit that's out there now, a whole jail skit, and dude is in it, and it's a whole skit. He's in it. And like now they're putting him in skits, and it says he's reportedly done. He has more skits with other streamers and stuff like that. Like, he's been recording. They're probably gonna come out.
Oh, and I'm like, serious? You can't be serious. Wow.
Yeah. I literally, I was appalled. I was like, are people? So I guess like, and again, like the whole streaming industry is crazy right now. Like, there are people out there who seemingly have no fucking talent or whatever, but they engage. I mean, some have, they're gamers, and I can understand that, because the gaming streaming thing it's lucrative. It's very lucrative. But there are cats in there that just go on there and they just talk about some old bullshit. They don't have no real talent or whatever. Like, it's just fuckery. But but then the generation that they kind of appeal to, they like that, and then for whatever reason, the celebs of that generation, they like that shit. And I don't get it, but I don't get why it's taking this dude, who's known for known for prison rapes and stuff like that, and trying to glorify him, and they put him in skits that are glorifying this and that, and I'm just like, well, people, we gotta do better. Like, there's a lot better things you can be streaming your content about than fucking Fleece Johnson, the booty warrior, and his disgusting stories about farting and ass and booty and whatever disgusting combinations there is. keep in mind, like it doesn't matter, if he prefers men or whatever, like sexual preference.
Yeah, that's not like that has nothing to do with this. Like,
Yeah,
we don't care. We don't care if you like men or any of that shit. Like, it is what it is. You like
it
men,
is
you
what
like
it is. That's what you do. But when you're talking about, you don't even like to pretend, but you're talking about prison rape in such an organic way. Like this shit is like normal. Like, and then you go in, and these podcasts are like are like hiring you, paying you to say it. Like that's the shit that's just like no one needs to be hearing that. No one needs to this shit shouldn't be glorified. He shouldn't be glorified at all. Because none of this shit is like, hey, what are you doing with your life, Fleece, after you got out of prison for like 20 something years? Oh yeah, I'm just going there. I'm talking about booty, and if a man farts, that's his invitation for prison rape and shit like that. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, I think these dudes think it's a joke, like, which is crazy.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I think either they think he's harmless now because he's kind of older, but just give dude a fucking reason, because give dude a fucking reason. What's good, Rob? That's good, Rob D. Rob D, we're out here, we're ranting about things, bro. Like there's some things that we're ranting about. We ranted about baseball and the hair thing, and now it's just like the glorification of Fleece Johnson in social media these days. But what were you saying, P? I'm sorry.
No, it's just crazy. Like, why would you think he's harmless? The man like admitted that he likes like boot. Like he said he still misses booty. So the fuck. What, you think he won't do it to you if he has those fucking urges? Nah, hell no.
Yeah,
that shit is not funny. Nothing about it is funny.
Yeah, it's not funny at all. It's absolutely not funny, and people should let's say he shouldn't be glorified. Like unless he's doing something good for himself or his community or his family, or he's actually has gotten some help or something like that. Then it's just like, come on, like dude should not be glorified at all. Like they need to keep it, because I guarantee these skits they said he's recorded, they're all gonna be prison related. It's gonna be like it's just it's gonna be just ad nauseum over and over again, and it's just like it's disgusting. Like streamers, y'all could do better than getting Fleece Johnson on your channel, interviews or whatever fuck for engagement. Like it doesn't have to go down like that. Like seriously. But yeah, no, I had to get that one. I had to get that one off my chest because it was just like I was just disgusted. And like I said, I like social media. I laugh. I admit it, I laugh at a lot of inappropriate things on social media, but just that part of it is just making me. I was just like, yeah, I'm kind of tired of seeing Fleece Johnson and him talking about the prison rape stories. That shit ain't cool at all.
That is crazy.
Like, yeah. And then another person that's is getting a little controversy is Doechii.
The red flags, yeah.
The red flags. Yeah, she went on a show recently, and she said she was asked what she considers a huge red flag when it comes to dating, and she says a straight man. Yeah, and I get it. I understand that she's queer. Like I understand that.
She had this her song. She had like the popular one talking about how like the dude she was with, was caught with another dude type of thing.
But if you're wait, hold on. But if you're queer.
She's not queer. She's not really queer. She's straight, but she's like, a lot of these freaking female rappers.
Like I say, if you're queer, then you're not. Then
but I'm saying,
why would you be dating straight?
But P, a lot of these female rappers, like a lot of their fan base are gay dudes, and they just play to the gay shit a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's what she was doing probably. I'm not trying to play the. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying more than likely, I scroll through it a lot. I know a lot of gay people are fans of all these women rappers, you know what I'm saying? So it's like she's probably playing up to it. She's probably playing up
with
to
all
it.
due respect, that's gay. Like, what are we doing?
No, I know. I mean, like, I know people want to throw out, and my boy Rob D always gets at me when I call her industry plan. I'm just saying there's a push for her clearly. I mean, a lot of these, you can call it industry plan all you want. I'm just saying, clearly, there's some kind of push that she's getting, but it's working for her. She's really popular. I mean, she's getting all these crazy Women of the Year awards and shit. I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah, and I get like people who are like that, like hey, you call yourself pan, bisexual, non-binary, whatever the fuck you call yourself like that though, but calling a straight man a red flag is just absolutely it is bonkers. Like this shit's type wild. Like I would never kind of say. I mean, that stuff you probably say in the privacy of certain company and not necessarily in an interview where a lot of people can kind of go hear you and stuff like that. But yeah, that is and that's why people like I said, that's why people are calling her a plant, because it's just like you get people in this location, that someone that comes out of nowhere or whatever, and they get notoriety, and then they just start spewing things that they shouldn't really be spewing out loud, and then fun things too is just do you guys think that will probably negatively affect her?
I mean, she just won 2025 Billboard Woman of the Year or some shit. She literally just won that after a day or two. I saw Twitter, so it's like, no, I think this actually might be the opposite. This might blow her up more.
I mean, somehow, somewhere, I just think there'll probably be a consequence for that. I mean, like again, I get it. Like everyone has their preference. You do whatever though, but calling a straight man a red flag
that's wild. That's pretty wild.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild. Like I agree with Pete said, it's kind of gay, but I am playing devil's advocate here. I think like with a woman like her, she got the nice little BBL. She's pretty, nice little chocolate thing. Like Doechii Cat, all these girls, they always have these little weird, quirky pro gay moments. It's not gonna hurt. I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. But I think this is gonna. It's only the beginning for her. She really just blew up.
I mean, let's put it this way: if someone who identifies as straight says, "Hey, that dating a gay woman or gay man are red flags," that it would be super controversial, and that person would be blackballed.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. That's just wild. Any publicity is good publicity. I get that too, but it's just like, yeah, like I said, some things. I mean, if you're gonna be just making like wild comments like that, and as soon as it starts overshadowing your artistry and stuff like that, then like, yeah, you're a plant. That's what you are, like straight up and down. You're a plant. But
do you think she's pushing? Do you think she's pushing? That 6-letter word agenda. You think she's pushing that? Is there like an agenda? Is there label? Like, do you think she was? I know her dad came out, but it's kind of weird because her dad came out saying, "Oh, because of the song," and then Rolling Stone said, "If you call in her industry plant, you're being a colorist." Da, da, da. Like Rolling Stone said that shit. So do you think it's just more so just the label and everything? Because I agree with Rob D. It is labeled pushing for her, but do you think she was not court to say that, but do you think she was like her label said, "Hey, say that during this interview," type of thing? I mean.
I don't think. I would find it hard to believe that a label would actually go to that length to say, "Hey, if they answer a question, call straight men red flags." I mean, that would sound too wild to me, even for labels who are known to be doing a lot of manipulative stuff. That would be far too wild for me to really But I just think she just got the right question. She was just like, "Oh, yep." That she just did that on her own. I mean, the label probably, I'm pretty sure the label probably kind of plays up other aspects of her, but I just think that question, that answer definitely came from her. Like, that wasn't probably by the label. I can't see an A&R saying like, yeah, I just want you to be as gay or as queer as possible with these answers.
Yeah. No, but I don't think she's actually quit. I think she's straight. But I just think she, all like, if you unless you're like a Rat City or you're some like kind of, dykish, you're gonna kind of play up like even Nicki Minaj, and all her fans, like they play up to the gay people. The gay people love these women music. Like,
Yes, but Nicki Minaj is, to my knowledge,
yeah.
identifies as being straight.
But
And
I saw this. I don't know if you saw this clip. They're like, why is every gay guy act like a ghetto black like a black woman? With the talk like this.
yeah,
With the
yeah. Like I said, 20 years ago, you couldn't really fathom this in hip hop music, but now it's here. This is it's you got this is that's what the times is. That's what the times are now. All of this is out in the open and in your face. It's like no, there's no need to kind of hide if you are that way, because now they have an audience of some sort. So but yeah, no, I just think that, yeah, it's just like some things are just better off unsaid or just not said it like that, because God forbid she starts doubling down on that shit too. But like I said, I get it. Everyone has a preference. She's bi or whatever, but yeah, that's still not good at calling straight men red flags. Like, yes, I know if you date men who are queer, yeah, God, good, love it. That's you. But yeah, that shit's fucking wild. Oh man, let's see what else. Oh yes, the other thing that to rant about, and I know we talked about this in our chat too. The BET GOAT Black Wrestlers list. And I know P has strong views, and I have strong views on this. And
no, I don't really have strong views. I understand why they made the list the way they did.
Mhm.
I don't
The Rock should be number
necessarily
one. The
I
Rock should
don't
be number one.
necessarily agree with the list, but I can understand why it was done the way it was done. So,
But I feel like if you're gonna add The Rock, he's half black, half Samoan. His dad should have made. I don't know, that top 15. His dad was pretty integral to the. But I'm just saying, The Rock, the Booker T is not over. I love Booker T too, but the Booker T is not over The Rock. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of. Are they just like that was kind of weird to me. That's the only thing that really. I know there's some other ones. Like Too Cold Scorpio. Patch Boy
well,
should definitely be
I'll
on
rattle off BET's list right now. I mean,
Go ahead.
starting from number 15 was Jazz, 14 Shelton Benjamin, 13 Naomi, 12 Jacqueline, 11 Big E, 10 Devon Dudley, 9 Bianca Belair, 8 Bobby Lashley, 7 Ron Simmons Farouk, 6 JYD, 5 Sasha Banks or Mercedes or whatever she's called now, 4 Mark Henry, 3 Kofi Kingston, 2 The Rock, and 1 Booker T. And I'm not sure if they're just putting them there or no. Yeah, it looks like that was an actual ranking. Like this,
No. That's the order. I mean, that's the order because obviously Booker T being one. I mean, The Rock is one of the goats. I mean, I don't know this mean, but I get Booker T's actually he's a nigga. He's black. So I don't know. It's kind of tough to say.
no, but Junkyard Dog should have been higher than 6. Like Junkyard Dog is top 3, like in my mind. Like he's an innovator. He's like one of the most popular black wrestlers ever. Like his Mid-South run, he was great. Like
He was
every
integral. He was integral. He was integral for especially with kind of the blacks in WWF. Or, you know what I mean? Like he was
yeah.
major. He was major.
No, he was a star. He was outside of The Rock, he was probably the biggest star of all of them.
Let me ask y'all real quick. Would y'all kind of Ron Simmons the first black world heavyweight champion or whatever? Obviously, when he beat Vader, who do y'all rank higher? Because Mark Henry or Farouk? Who would y'all rank higher?
No, Farouk.
easily not Mark Henry. You kidding
Farouk.
me?
Yeah,
no, because I feel like Farouk should have been higher than Mark Henry. Mark Henry was
yes,
higher.
Farouk. Right? To me, yes, Farouk should have been higher.
Yeah. Ron Simmons should have been higher. I feel like.
And I get this because the list. I mean, honestly, I could tell because, like I said, because I mean,
the list is accolades. The list is accolades based. I could tell that
it's accolades based, but it's also definitely compiled by someone who's probably not older than
someone either someone probably Rome's age or younger.
Yeah, but definitely someone around Rome's age. It has to be because Yeah, I mean, like I said, JYD is always a given. JYD, like I said, is top 3 because JYD was the definition of popular. He was popular in the WWF. He was probably the biggest babyface under Hulk Hogan in there. Like, so it's just like yeah, he should absolutely be top 3. And I get it. Booker T gets all the praise in the world. Like, Booker T was, but Booker T is not number 1. Not even close.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, a five-time.
And Booker T got his titles because he sold out all the black wrestlers in WCW. But that's
they call him Uncle. They'll call him Uncle.
Yeah, because they had a
Uncle
lawsuit.
T.
They had the lawsuit against WCW for racism, and he didn't go along with it, and he was given title shots because they used him to say, well, how can we be racist? We got a black champion.
I think he won the title the last night too. I know he won it before, but I feel like
he won it before. Like it wasn't the last night.
He won it 5 times.
No, he won it. The first time he won it was that night. Jeff Jarrett, Hulk Hogan shoot with Vince Russo, right?
Yeah, that was the first time.
Not the first time. I'm saying the last night of Raw. I think the crossover. I think he won it that night, if I'm not mistaken, too. Right?
The last night of
WCW. Yeah, last night of Nitro. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically, dude. I'll give dude was able to kind of convert, but to adjust to the WWE, he was able to really put an aspect on his career. But yeah,
he's an all-timer. No, Booker's an all-timer. I know the Triple H shit that happened was fucking egregious, nasty.
It is. It's because
but I'm saying in terms of like there's certain guys, like Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, that can play face and heel effectively. The King Booker shit, Booker T was able to do that and be over as a face and a heel. It was kind of crazy. I mean, just in terms of, not everybody can be a good heel and a good face, and he could do both.
Yeah, but like I say, he's definitely not number 1. Like now, if you want to put The Rock, and I guess I know Rock has a lot of. The biggest knock against The Rock is not because because he doesn't necessarily. People say he doesn't tap into his black side often. Like he's dude is Samoan, like culturally very Samoan. But he does.
He came up with the nation. I mean, that kind of because remember when he first got
he didn't come up with the nation.
No, what I'm saying is when he first got on, he had that blue fucking outfit,
the blue tassels, yada yada.
Played Rocky Maivia son, or and then he was getting the heat. But when he went to the Nation of Domination, when he became the that was a pro black faction.
No, but
that's when he came up.
Listen, and I consider The Rock black. Like he's black, but using the nation isn't a very good example simply because not everybody in the nation was black. Like
I know.
Owen Hart was in the nation.
Owen Hart wasn't black. I know. Owen Hart wasn't black.
You had Crush, who was in the original Nation Domination. He was white. They had white rappers walking them to the ring. Back in
Yeah, PG-13. Yeah,
PG-13.
And one of the PG-13 members was racist as fuck in real life.
Yeah,
so it's like, no, I would never use the racist. But now, however, Rock used black swag to get over it. He sure said that's one thing he did to do. But still, Rock is one of the biggest stars that wrestling has ever seen. Even Booker T will never reach the Rock's height ever. That's one thing.
Yeah. The Rock should be number 1 technically. I get, I guess off accolades, if they're going off, that's kind of weird to me that you.
Accolades, The Rock would be number 1.
Would be number 1, yeah.
But then even the people on the list, I love Jazz. Like when I thought Jazz.
Yeah, I like Jazz too, but no,
she's not on this. She shouldn't be on there.
She shouldn't be on. She shouldn't be on.
The only 2, and I love Naomi too and Jacqueline, but to me, the only 2 women I would put on the list are Mercedes, Sasha Banks, and Bianca Belair. Those 2 are deserving of being on the list. The other 3
on the list. Yeah, they should be on the list. They were dope.
But like the omissions, like I said, the first thing that I did when I saw this list, I was like, damn, there's no Too Cold Scorpio. Now, Now, people have always asked me, where did Pat Scorpio come from? Because I am not a Cancer. That's not my sign. I'm a Cancer. Scorpio came from Too Cold Scorpio because Too Cold basically, only now in pro wrestling, wrestlers are saying he's getting his props as an innovator, as an everything like that, as he should, because dude was doing things in his prime.
The flippy shit.
People are doing today. Like
all the flippy shit. Like Ricochet and Will Ospreay are basically running with the Too Cold Scorpio blueprint with the moves, the aerial moves.
Except they have no swag. That's the problem. Like, like Too Cold was doing this and he was weighing 230, 240 pounds doing, and also Too Cold can actually legitimately wrestle too. He's not a spot monkey.
See, the issue is, unfortunately, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be on the list, but I'm not surprised he's not on the list because I think this is a primarily WWE based list. Because when people think of wrestling, they think of WWE. And unfortunately, fucking Too Cold Scorpio's best moments were not in WWE. And what we know him from fucking WWE is he was saddled with a horrible fucking gimmick. Oh, Flash, you are so.
Oh, I remember that shit.
That shit was so fucking ass. So yeah, that's what people remember him as Flash Funk, and that shit was horrible. That ruined him.
You think R-Truth should be on this list, P?
No.
No.
And
I like R-Truth, but no, he shouldn't. He should have not been on that list.
First black NWA champion, but I wouldn't have put him on.
Yeah,
but either way, Too Cold. Too Cold. If our list was more of an innovator than anyone on the actual on that list too, and he was the other omission too was Bad News Brown or Bad News Allen, depending on which era that you. That's probably more of my era because Bad News Brown what his most known moments was in the WWF, and Bad News Brown was probably more legit than any other. Dude how many black wrestlers do you know have a legit Olympic medal in judo? And he's probably the only one. He's probably the only American that's ever gotten a medal in judo. Of all things,
it's wild. Wow.
Yeah, like dude was a serious omission. Like that, even probably more than Too Cold. Like dude could probably whoop like everyone on the damn list. Like if he wanted to, legitimate. Well, not the women, but that's
not. I wouldn't favor him against Bobby Lashley, but other than that, yeah, I agree.
The Bad News Brown was a serious omission.
I think it's just because of the lack of the accolades, because even in WWF, when he went to WWF, he was already older. He mostly did most of his stuff was in like I think his peak of wrestling, I think when he was in Canada, it was like Stampede Wrestling when he was wrestling for Stu Hart and in Canada with Brett and all of them. And then he got to WWF like late, the last couple of years of his career.
Yeah, no, I've actually watched them live. So like that's how far I go back to this shit. Like I've watched them live before. So it's like, but dude should actually be on that list, like because he was great too, and like I said, there are other wrestlers too. If you even want to go back to wrestlers that are even before my time, like a Bobo Brazil,
Ernie Ladd,
or Thunderbolt Patterson, or something.
Thunderbolt Patterson, yeah.
Fucking Dusty Rhodes took his whole swag.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like. I think that's where like with these now. If they said 15 greatest black wrestlers of the last maybe 20 years, and okay, I would roll with it. Like fine, that's what it is. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like this list was just there was just some serious omissions on there, and the rankings was just off. Kofi Kingston as number 3 is like no.
Now I would not rank Kofi Kingston that high. But I would not object to Kofi being on the list.
Top 5.
Kofi is a legend, and like a lot of people would consider Kofi to be the first black WWE champion. And I remember when Kofi won the title, black people, there were people that were crying.
I ain't gonna lie. That was a dope moment. That was a dope moment. The Kofi Mania was a pretty cool.
Like they and it wasn't like, oh well, they just gave him the title. Like he got the crowd.
He got over,
and the crowd forced them to pivot and give him the title. That Kofi Mania run was like, I don't care what anybody says. That run was such a great.
But I feel like Daniel Bryan did
such a feel good moment.
Daniel Bryan did a good job.
Plus his work with the New Day, and you talk about like culture. The New Day, with the New Day, because Big E was on the list as well. They're like because like what their contributions not only in the ring, also out the ring because Wale, who's a wrestling fan, got into they brought him on the WWE television off of his association with the New Day, and every WrestleMania weekend he does this event, Wale Mania, which is really part of the culture. Like every WrestleMania weekend, usually like that Thursday, Wale Mania. He has an event. There's music. All the wrestlers be coming. The black wrestlers, not only the black wrestlers, like white wrestlers be coming. Samoan people. Everybody goes to that, and the women go. Like it's an event. Like
I still want to hear his fucking full. I remember there's a snippet of his freestyle over the Harlem Heat Booker T fucking theme.
So so their association with Wale, I think, helped Wale Mania become a thing. So plus just the athleticism, and I always remember with Kofi. They would do every year. They would do the Royal Rumble save spot where he would use his athleticism,
and then he would jump on the fucking apron and shit.
Yeah, that shit was so cool. Like,
and do you remember? Do you remember what Kofi when he got his initial push and he fucked up against Randy Orton and he got buried?
Yeah, he was so good at his gimmick that he had motherfuckers thinking he was Jamaican.
He was Jamaican, and Triple H called him out. He's like, "Hold on," Triple H was like, "You having your accent?" Yeah.
Even though he's from Ghana, a Ghanaian playing a Jamaican, and he played it so well.
Kofi's had a long, New Day is literally one of the best.
Kofi's certified, so I would never
Kofi's top 5. If I say Kofi,
I would never I would never say that Kofi shouldn't be on the list. I think he should be on the list, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Kofi's on one of the. So, yeah, he was.
I get it though.
Kofi is what Shelton Benjamin should have been.
Yeah, but Shelton Benjamin got it done in the ring. But personality-wise,
he was dope as hell in the ring. You just had a fucking personality.
Well, I think a lot of Shelton's getting his flowers now because a lot of the newer generation of black wrestlers look up to him, including one of the top stars in AEW, Swerve Strickland. He looked up to Shelton. A lot of people looked up to Shelton, and he's now finally starting to get his props.
I mean, it's just like Xavier Woods was talking about. Too Cold was his inspiration. So it's it's good to see that happen. But that's why it's Too Cold. To me, Too Cold just gets so overlooked and so underrated. I honestly don't know why he does. It was a thing when he was doing his thing. I just don't know why he does, but it's like one of those things. It's just it looks like this. I like to look at it at a full picture, and if it was a more of a big picture list, I would be like, okay, cool. But yeah, I think there were just names in there. I think whoever made the list was just picking, just okay, I'm gonna put him here, this like this. It wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say this because I fuck with him. He's one of the greatest tag teams of all time. But Devon Dudley, I get why they put him there, but he was him being a tag team wrestler for me mostly kind of is what hurts him because it's to me it's the Andre 3000 rule. You don't have no solo albums, so I'm not gonna put you on the greatest list when all of your shit is from a group. Yeah. I think he probably would have been. He might have been omitted for me just because of that, or at the bottom of the list. But yeah, that's just me though. That's me. I might be nitpicking with that one.
But like you said, as you said before, because Devon, although Devon was over in ECW, Devon was super over in the WWE. So it's that's what they probably focus on. That's why you have your Mark Henrys. Hell, I'm surprised they didn't even put fucking Godfather. Dude had 2 incarnations on there. He had 2 characters that were over. Yeah, I don't know how he did. Yeah, the same dude that was that, and the same dude was Papa Shango. So it's
Papa Shango, yeah. Hey, and I know Viscera. Shout out Viscera. Rest in peace to Viscera. That's all I say. King May.
No, he should not be on there. Not at all.
Yeah, he shouldn't. He should not.
Yeah, Viscera should not be on there. Absolutely not.
Y'all was naming names like Viscera and Virgil, and I'm like, rest in peace, Virgil. But no, he should not be on there.
Yeah, shouts out LB, but I'm sorry, Virgil was cool. He had a moment with Ted DiBiase, but I don't know if he's on that.
Yeah, no, he shouldn't be on the list if we're being completely serious.
Although Virgil again, I would not put him on there either, but Virgil had probably Virgil's biggest moment is probably surpasses some of these wrestlers' biggest moments. Like I don't think
he
Devon
had one of the
Dudley had
biggest
a bigger
moments.
moment than Virgil.
Yeah, that did be also, and also he's in the NWO. You know,
well, no, he didn't do shit in the NWO. Like that's
he was lucky that got beat up usually, but I'm just saying he was a part of the later, a couple years later.
I just wish there was a better like a list or whatever because it like it's just incomplete. Like if you want 215, like I just like it's very WWE beast. So like I said, because WWE is like for the most part it's not the only game in town, but it's like now that they own WCW footage, they own ECW footage. It's so like unless you actually and they own a lot of older wrestling.
They just opened a WCW night. I don't know if you saw that, but they recently WWE got a WCW like channel, like YouTube channel.
Yeah, on the YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I already have a Peacock login. So if you have a Peacock login,
it's already on the Peacock.
They have all that stuff up on there too. Like, I mean, everything.
Damn, I gotta use the Peacock more. Pause, because I'd be wasting $6 on that shit every month.
Yeah, no, I just wish that Black wrestling was more. I'm not saying like I just wish there was probably.
Let's be real. Let's be real. Wrestling is not it's never ever gonna be a black because. Niggas, when it comes to sports, niggas gonna run that shit. Real sports. And, wrestling is not fake, quote unquote. It's scripted. But I'm saying, it's a white man's world like Tupac. I'm just saying, wrestling is that one. They're not gonna, I know there's black representation now, but, unfortunately, it's never been how it should have been.
Yeah, I mean, but well, let's put it this way. I mean, pro wrestling has made a lot of strides. I mean, 20 years ago, you would have never see pro wrestling being discussed on ESPN and shit like that. Like it's literally it has its own fucking section. ESPN covers pro wrestling more than fucking boxing. And that's a whole nother fucking rant. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fucking weird how that is. So the fact that BET is actually doing that.
I mean, you saw the clip of or the report, that TKO is gonna have some crazy WWE, MMA, and UFC, and
I could care less about boxing, wrestling, and MMA being
yeah. This thing mixing like a fucking steak and ice cream and fucking rice and having to mix it all up and eat it at once. I don't want to do that shit.
They're like doing too much. I could care less about anything of that nature. If you want that promotion to like that TKO shit, like if you want that shit to pop. Like, just stick to the basics, not everything has to be a fucking crossover. Just stick to the basics. Just give boxers who want a shot at something, and just keep it at that, and stop making all these gimmick shits. Like,
I don't got no high hopes for the league. I'm just mentioning how wrestling's kind of incorporated into
boxing for more than anything has been tapping into its inner carnage. I mean, that's the reason why we have influencer boxing and Jake Paul, and then that and shit like tag team boxing. Everyone's trying to be a carny in their sport. Like I said, and I get it. Like sometimes you want personalities to sell, like in boxing. Like obviously in boxing, we get on people who don't don't have no personality or anything like that, and they just do what they do, and they're just fight and that's fine. You don't have to. Not everyone is meant to be a showman, But it's just like not everything. Not everything needs to be like full out gimmicks and shit.
Yeah, straight up. Straight up. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, like let boxing be boxing, let wrestling be wrestling, let MMA be MMA. That's
yeah.
You don't need to go all crazy with this shit, trying to reinvent the wheel, because like I said, that shit it's not going to work because all three things have different fan bases.
Yeah, I don't like. It does bleed. All three of those do bleed together. Like I watch UFC here and there. I watch the UFC pay-per-views and boxing and wrestling. I know that some fans overlap, but I just feel like this whole TKO thing is not going to work.
It's the first turkey thing that I'm not enthused about it. Like, especially because Dana White is, like I said, Dana has always bashed boxing. for various things, and then even the things that he wants to do. Like now, I think the first thing I know he wants to pretty much break everything down to its own belt and using the original 8 divisions and stuff
that's not gonna work.
He's trying to say boxing is broken. That's so annoying to me. Like you can't even build a star. All your for the longest time, UFC, all their stars were jobbers. Like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and the one that they were pushing just got upset the other week. The other day. So anything listening to Dana White, because Dana White has been trying to come into boxing for years, but no one will give him the time of day for and good reason too. Because dude has a very low understanding of how professional boxing works, But like I said, Turkey is the benefactor. He's the money man, and Turkey's already put money into the UFC. So I was like, most likely he's like, okay, we can do this. Now, I mean, if Turkey wants to put all his eggs in his basket with TKO, that's his prerogative. It's his, it's the Saudi money. It's his control. It's whatever, but. Yeah, like I mean, nothing that I'm hearing from that shit even remotely interests me. Like 8 divisions, and then the heavyweights. There's a heavyweight limit, so they can't have any fat heavyweights.
I mean, it's the original 8, weight classes, but other than that, I don't really care about that. But it's a whole bunch of bullshit in terms of Dana White. I never hear any UFC fighter talk highly. You think any high-profile boxers are going to want to get paid? Because I'm sure they're going to try to cut the money, even in terms of what they pay, right? Like,
I mean, it depends on what they do. Now, honestly, I mean, if Dana White tries to operate like because obviously with the UFC, I mean, we all know the story about Francis Ngannou, pretty much that he was an actual star. And Dana was like not.
He had the big money. He was a heavyweight champion of your company. Had the big money from the camp or his trainers. He had to get money fronted. That's insane. Dog.
Either that or borrow money from other UFC fighters.
From other fighters, yeah. He wasn't eating well. This nigga, come on, man. That's crazy.
And then on top of that too, he wanted him to get beat while dude was recovering from a knee injury, and dude, in spite of him, was actually beating up people with knee injuries. I'd say, and then he sent out to his contract expired, and then obviously he did the boxing shit, and I think he signed up with what's the other thing that the same he does the same shit that Clarissa Shields do. Yeah. But then in 2 fights in boxing, dude made more money in 1 fight than he made in his whole fucking career at the UFC. And
PFL, you're talking about the PFL, yeah.
PFL, there we go. Yeah, I don't think he's even done.
No, he had the one. He had the one. I watched it. He beat the fuck out. This dude was big too. I ain't gonna lie. I watched it. It was like on an early night because it's Abu Dhabi time, Saudi Arabia. Yeah. But literally, the dude was bigger than him. I was like, damn, this dude, because Francis Ngannou's a big motherfucker. So
of course he is. But like pretty much the story where Dana is has fighters that are not under his contract they want to box. Nate Diaz boxed. Conor McGregor had a pro box. Well, that was probably the only one he approved. Because due to the fact it was Floyd and the fact that he got he got a percentage, he got probably a good percentage off that shit. So that's when he let Conor McGregor do that shit.
What's the likelihood y'all think percentage wise that they stamped the Canelo Bud fight with the TKO stuff when it's on Netflix? I feel like there's a high probability of that. They're saying the first one's gonna be in September and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like they're gonna try to do that first. 'Cause I know they're supposed to do the Grand Prix shit, right? All the young fighters that.
The Grand Prix shit is out of the Riyadh season range. I think that's just strictly some WB shit.
Okay, so it's not going to be because I feel like they're going to try to build up. They're going to try to build fighters prospects. I feel like it's going to be a lot of the prospects so they can control the funds. You don't got to pay the prospects what established boxers can get paid.
Yeah, that's why I say the WBC shit. And that's why they're only using people that have less than 12 or 15 fights, and they're not using actual experienced pros. Obviously if you follow prospects there are some names in there that are in there. So, and truthfully, I don't even mind that. I don't mind the Grand Prix shit. I actually think that's actually a good idea. Because one thing that's kind of missing about boxing in these days is where to actually find your prospects from. Now, Matchroom, Golden Boy, and the UK, they get them. Top Rank honestly had their prospects are the most visible of them. but it's just like, but there are others outside of that who they are bumming. They have, and they don't get that type of attention. So I think I think it's a good idea at least if it gets them a little bit. If they get a little, I mean, whether it's going to be on Netflix or more likely DAZN, like do that. Like it's good. It's actually good to know to see which up and coming talent is bubbling, and that's where the TKO thing. Like TKO is like, I mean, because there's like I said, because boxing has for such a broken sport, boxing has a large, especially has a large talent pool. So there are people over there that are going to want to fight. They're going to want to fight, and they're going to want opportunity. If they can't get into PBC, they can't get into the Matchroom, they can't get into Golden Boy, Top Rank, Queensberry, anything like that. Then or even like a Salida promotion, whatever. There's a way, and that's the only positive that I see from TKO. As in that it could be exposure to some talent that might have been flying under the radar. But other than that, it's just like
it's stuff gonna be weird. It's just weird, right? Because I feel like they're gonna have Canelo Crawford, they're gonna have TKO promotions or whatever, stamped all over it. But it's like, okay, then you're gonna never have a fighter close to Canelo or Crawford on your shit. It's kind of.
I mean, truthfully, I can understand it because it's a jump off. Because I always thought. One thing I remember saying in real time is it's weird that Floyd never did a fight under the PBC banner. Like the jump off for that, we remember was fucking Broner and John Molina and Keith Thurman and Eddie and Robert.
Yeah, I remember that they had the epic video package in the beginning, like it was in a club or some shit.
Yeah, like it was that shit like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like Floyd's last fight should have been a PBC stamp. Considering like the one against Berto, the actual.
I mean, Floyd is. I wouldn't say Floyd is PBC, but without Floyd and what he did in his career with going to Showtime and everything, I feel like he kept lights on for PBC. But that is true. He never really fought under the PBC banner.
Yeah, he fought under his own promotional banner.
Mayweather Promotions,
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like PBC. I feel like Floyd. He said one time, nothing goes without him. I'm sure like that's not really fully true these days, but I feel like at a certain point, Floyd ran PBC. He never really was a. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He had fighters that fought on PBC cards and stuff, and then he had his own. When Mayweather Promotions had a network to actually fight on, an actual network and stuff like that. They had all that stuff. They had that, but I'm saying I always felt like Mayweather Promotions were like it was an extra shit but I feel like PBC is Floyd. I mean, I feel like Floyd, if it wasn't for Floyd, there would be necessarily not a PBC.
Obviously, because that's like the sentient relationship. Like they go hand in hand, though. But I mean, I think it would have kind of helped PBC's jump off more if it was stamped with a Floyd versus somebody rather than.
Floyd versus Thurman.
Rather than fucking Thurman. It was Thurman and Robert Guerrero in the main event.
Yeah. And, Broner was on there. Wasn't Broner on there?
Yeah, I said that. Broner Molina, which was a terrible fight, by the way. It was a god-awful fight. And yes, Android, yeah. The talent pool, yeah. Boxing is deep. Well, not necessarily in women's boxing above 160, but the men's is always deep. So let's say I like anything that brings more attention to more boxing and more opportunities. I'm with.
Do you like the all women's Netflix card with Kay Taylor Serrano 3, or do you think it should have do you think?
It could be all women. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna be on. So, well, yeah, this should have a man on there. Like, if they can build some women fights, it's not like a whole bunch of, basically not like the type of cards that Clarissa Shields used to have, where it's like all women. And some of them were just like,
just make it meaningful fights. I mean, I know it's supposed to be all women, but make it meaningful fights.
Yeah, if you can make it meaningful, it'll make for a better viewing experience, and it'll bring some renewed interest to women's boxing, which has kind of been like, because women's boxing kind of shot its load with the bigger fights early, and didn't necessarily have time to kind of build up some newer stars.
Yeah. Shouts out Gabby Fundora. She's a beast, but she's but I'm just saying, it's true. not really hot prospect women boxers. I mean, you see some pop up here and there, but you don't really
Yeah,
see them. You don't see them
yeah,
grow. You know what I'm saying? You don't see them.
yeah. Like the ones that were at that were visible at their peak. They're getting older now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're all start. They're in the
Baumgartner
twilight
has
of
like
their
literally all the
careers.
belts in the division, and she ain't on Matchroom anymore. She's fighting on fucking Tubi and shit. The fuck?
Yeah, like it's that type of shit. So it's like,
Yeah, put
yeah,
Baum on
women,
there
like,
somehow. I feel like
yeah,
they
that's
gotta
why.
put Baumgartner on that bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that the women's card, whoever's the matchmaker, can actually really put together some real like good and women's fights that make sense. If they do, then yeah, they got something.
No, you gotta get Baumgartner because I feel like Shields' pride won't let her do it. But Baumgartner somehow you gotta put Baumgartner on there and let her get a KO. See if you can get a KO or something type of thing. But.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure we'll know soon enough what who's gonna be signed on there, who's gonna be the co-main or whatever. But yeah, I hope I mean, it doesn't matter where it's aired to me, but I just want the card. Like, if you're gonna put a card like this, like just make it. Because like the first, get like the first Serrano Taylor card. I mean, obviously that was all Eddie, and that was in New York City, and that was and from top to bottom. It was straight up heat, and obviously there was women and men's belt on there. But
It was a crazy event. It was a dope event. I mean, I wasn't there, but I'm just saying, like, it was.
I mean, it's probably Eddie's magnum opus in terms of what he's in terms of something at least in terms of what he did in America.
In the USA, in the USA for sure, no doubt about that. In America,
yeah, I don't think Eddie has ever buzzed as high as he did during that whole thing. Like that shit was basically that was that's his like that's probably that was probably his highest point as a U.S. in terms of doing a U.S. show as a promoter. So. But yeah, I hope it succeeds. And like I said, I mean, I'm always open for more ways for boxers to get attention. But yeah, TKO, nothing about it so far has been like, okay, this is a good idea. And like P said, like that one belt purpose division, yeah, good luck with that. Then that means you're gonna have to limit your pool of people that can sign with TKO, because it's either that or whoever's the champion is going to have to fight a lot, and then and UFC uses interim belts too. So it's like, so again, I'm not sure why Dana is always on, yeah, I mean, boxing has the interim and regular nonsense and stuff like that. But, UFC has interim belts too. So it's like, Dana will just have to deal with boxing issues. And like, I mean, the reason why obviously there's 4 sanctioned bodies. Like number one, the belts do they could push narratives. They could push stories. Hey, undisputed, that's the way you go. Like a champion that gets all 4 belts and beats these 4 fighters, then bam, like that's the champion right there. And then he's
at least give us. I wish LB was here because he would film me. Pause. At least give us a fucking a contender spinoff. If you're gonna if you're gonna do a bunch of prospects, give us a little contender spinoff or something.
Look, I've been asking for that. Like, trust me. Like the last one was on Epix, and of all places, and the only time I think Epix was the last channel I actually bought.
I remember that. Those were so fucking good, dog. Those were so like that was like, yeah, come on.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was on Epix. Epix is not on a channel that's available on everyone's cable system. Like the other contenders, they were on, I think it was on ABC or ESPN, and they were on channels that were watched by a lot of people.
But I don't know. Is reality TV kind of a dead, like could a contender series work in 2025? I mean, maybe
it could absolutely. I think it could absolutely.
I think if they modernize it somehow, like I don't know, but they could do where they you just have a whole bunch of young promising prospects. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it could definitely work. It can't be the same formula exactly, but it can be done.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, they don't need to change anything. Like, I mean,
you think? Huh? Okay.
No, because I mean, I watched the last season on Epix. I watched it from beginning to end, and that shit was fire.
Was it the Shane Mosley one or no? Or was it? Because I don't know. That was one of the latest.
No, Shane Mosley didn't win that one. No, it was
no. But I'm saying, but he was in it. But he was in that one. But
yeah, no, he was the run up. Shane Mosley took one of the worst beatings I've ever seen in a fight.
He got dog walked in that fight.
Yeah, he got dog walked. Yeah. But like that whole season though was dope though. Like everything was about it captured the whole vibe of the thing. But like I said, it was on Epix. It wasn't on NBC. It wasn't on ESPN. And the fourth season was on Versus, and I think that's where it kind of started. That's where like I don't think no one remembers season 4 like that. So it's like like. Contender can work though, but you got to put it on a platform that's actually, that could actually give it some attention, give it some eyes on it. Like, and the way that some of these networks kind of avoid stuff like that, I mean, it remains to be seen. But you can always hope. Let's see, Android. I really hope they don't fill up the big fight Bud Canelo undercards with C and D level fighters from their league. Yet they probably will.
And they're saying it's supposed to be on Netflix, I think, if I'm not mistaken, for the Crawford Canelo.
It's that, but it's filling up the undercard.
No. We need like a Shakur Zepeda. We need a fucking fire Coleman. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. I don't need.
Well, I mean, all cards should have a if you're gonna do that, yeah. I mean, Canelo cards are not known for having fire undercards.
Yeah.
Canelo fights, they're not.
I mean, put Keyshawn on there. I don't know. Somehow put Keyshawn on there. I mean, Keyshawn should be on that. I don't know. Make that shit good, man. Come on now. Don't give us no. Yeah, I agree with Andrew. Don't give us no bullshit.
Because Lord knows we there's enough cards that there have a lot of bullshit ass undercards. Your Discord boxing channel pilot. Salute.
Oh,
yeah,
nice. Salute, dog. Yeah.
It put the Ring magazine, the Twitter, and the channel. I mean, truthfully, this is 2025 now. Like, if they want to do a show through YouTube or anything like that, that could possibly just be the way.
That'd be and then Tricky runs the ring. Yeah, that'd be. I mean, but and then they'll probably have a TKO channel and TKO and all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's say, but all that remains to be seen. Just have to, like I said, I mean, the way the contender work, like it doesn't have to change. But how it's presented can, that could be like aware.
It's gotta be modernized for sure.
Yeah, take advantage of the streaming capabilities. You don't have to, you don't have to use a traditional network anymore. But don't put it on a channel that's a paid premium that no one really watches like that, like Epix. That was a huge mistake for season 5, even though season 5 was dope. So. But there's a lot of changes going on in boxing. A lot of different changes that are going on. So we just gotta see Chris Bragg, Kinahan involved. Y'all think with Turk or this TKO shit? Honestly, I don't even pay attention to dude. Like Kinahan, he made me.
You can't say that name. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess until Tyson Fury or some other fighters can actually fight in the U.S. He might still have some sort of relationship. I just don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, he's behind the scenes and gone and hiding from shit.
Yeah, like his whole boxing businesses were have all disbanded. Like anyone that was actually signed to him have actually been signed elsewhere. So yeah, I mean if he is, he is. But he's. I can't say how much. I mean, he's under a microscope right now, anyways. So there's not much he can do without anyone actually watching him.
Yeah, I think it's probably some underground tunnel, and on the lowest floor he can go to, hidden away because he's still probably wanted, right? I assume.
I'm sure. Yeah. Like I said, the day that you can actually see the Furies actually fight in America, that means something got loosened up or settled.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Oh man, but do we have anything else that we need to kind of mention before we get up out of here?
No, that'll be all.
Yeah, so got some rants off, got some boxing, wrestling rants off, other stuff rant off. So I thought Shuttleworth would join us, but like I said, Shuttleworth, he'd be busy doing a lot of different things. So I have an idea. I probably know what he's doing. So Yeah, but I'm sure you'll hear him on a random live or something, maybe tomorrow or whatever. But yeah, it looks like it was a good little rant session and whatnot. Salute to everyone that was in the chat and they know what chiming in with our stuff and everything like that. And yeah, we'll be back on Monday. Definitely this, we'll see what goes on for this matchroom, and then of course we have PBC and there's another card too. There's a PBC card, and then
there's a hold on. I got it. Hold on. Give me 1 sec because I'm on it. There's
Yeah,
a fucking Doechii versus Nick Ball.
Yeah, no, that's this weekend. I'm not talking about next weekend. Like I'm talking about
shit.
before we preview.
Oh shit! I don't fucking know.
Yeah, because it's definitely there's a PBC. Oh yeah, Cambosis card. Yeah, that's the one.
There's the Cambosis. the Cambosis, and there's a Pro Box. We don't talk about Pro. Cordell Booker and Fondor for the 2 titles.
That's the PBC one pilot.
PB, and then so I mean, I'm really excited for real quick Stanionis boots. That's the biggest one I'm looking forward to. I think.
Yeah, I mean that's next month too, and I know. I
Box are kind of dry until that first May weekend. The Cinco de Mayo, the 3-day stretch. That's looking kind of good.
Yeah. The Cinco de Mayo weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah.
Boxing's pretty dry besides Stanionis.
I mean, it is. I mean, unless things get announced, well, that and then also that's part of the Cinco de Mayo weekend, the triple header, which we already talked about with the Fatal Fury conferences, shit like that.
Yeah. Mayor Ryan ended the month just to pay the farmer. That's the 29th, so that would be.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's not a lot of big fights on the horizon. I mean, like I said, and I know with Boots and Stanionis, I know I'm still going back and forth on it because I know P. I mean, I put in a condition for P already, so just waiting for to hear that. But I'm still going back and forth because going to Atlantic City is, depending on how I do it, I consider it a big pain in the ass to me because I'm very particular of how I like to travel, and Atlantic City kind of makes it kind of difficult for me to travel the way I like to travel sometimes. So yeah, it's still thinking because I would definitely like to be there, and then hopefully we'll actually know what's actually on the undercard soon because I think they kind of put names that are going to be probably on the prelims and shit like that, but not like the actual main card yet. So yeah, we'll see how it goes though. But good little rant session, and we'll see. You'll hear us on Monday. But yeah, for myself, Pat Scorpio, representative, for King Queen Bodega being for Conscious Pilot, this was a wonderful episode of Real Talk Rant Session, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. Till next time, peace.
Peace.